Let's find a nice, comfortable, steady seat that allows us to align our spines. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Big exhale through your mouth. Just close your eyes and start to tune in. Start feeling every part of your anatomy. Don't neglect feeling anything. You want to make sure you feel the parts that would like some extra love this morning, as well as the parts that already feel fantastic. They are there, I promise you. And then let's begin our nice, slow Ujjayi breath. Check in with all your other areas, your mind, your heart, your energy. Pay attention to all of those things, including how connected you feel. And then go ahead and set your intention for your practice and maybe even for your day. When you're clear about your intention, take a deeper breath in. Exhale through your mouth. And let's come to standing at the front of the mat. So just taking a moment to find Tadasana, mountain pose, that nice, steady, strong, stable, aligned posture. Feel rooted through the soles of your feet and also feel rooted energetically. Know that the earth has you. And then let's take a big inhale. Reach the arms up, spread your fingers, lift your chest, lift your gaze if that's okay with your neck. Take a couple of extra breaths here, just opening up the front side of the body, opening yourself up to joy. And then on your next exhale, bend your knees and fold forward into ragdoll. One of the most important parts of ragdoll is a relaxed neck. So if you feel like you need to shake your head, do it. If you want to sway your body, do it. As long as your knees are a little bit bent and your neck is relaxed, you're golden in this pose. Take a couple more breaths. And then on your next inhale, come all the way back up. As you exhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. I'm going to turn and face you. We're going to do some standing rotations and side bending before we move into the rest of our flow. So I want you to inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, touch the palms. As you exhale, rotate open in one direction. Arms are out like a T, but your palms face up towards the ceiling. You're going to inhale back to the center, touch the palms up and overhead. Exhale, rotate open in the opposite direction. Inhale, back to the center, palms touch. Exhale, lean to one side. Get a nice side bend. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lean the other way. Inhale, back up. Exhale, big sweeping motion as you fold forward, touching your fingertips to your mat. Inhaling all the way back up. Exhaling to prayer. We're going to do that series 2 more times. Inhale, reach the arms up. Touch your palms. Exhale, rotate open to one side. Inhale, return to center, palms touch. Exhale, rotate open in the opposite direction. Inhale, come back up to the center. Exhale, lean to one side, side bend. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lean the opposite direction. Inhale, back up. Exhale, make that big sweeping motion as you fold forward and touch your mat. Inhale, all the way back up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Last time, inhale, reach the arms up, touch the palms. Exhale, rotate open to one side. Inhale, returning to center, palms touching, exhaling and opening in the opposite direction. Inhaling, back up, exhaling and leaning to one side. Inhaling, back up, exhaling, leaning the opposite direction. Inhale, back up, exhale, sweep the arms out and down, touch your mat. Inhale all the way back up. And as you exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Take a big breath in, reach the arms up. This time as you exhale, fold forward to a proper forward bend. So I know you guys have heard me talk about this so much, but I want you to make sure that you're hinging from your hips. That might mean that your knees bend a little bit. That's okay. The definition of a forward bend is your torso coming towards your thighs. It's not about getting hands to the floor or any of that good stuff. You want the torso to touch the thighs. Once you're here, imagine your tailbone is starting to poke up towards the ceiling. All you're doing is tilting your pelvis forward a little bit more. All right, let's go ahead and look up and lengthen. And then back down. This morning, we're going to step back with the right foot first. So you've got a left foot forward lunge. Just hold your lunge for a couple of breaths. If you can, keep that right hand planted, lengthen the spine, rotate, take your left hand up towards the ceiling. Bring your left hand back down, drop your right knee, just fully extend your left leg. We'll say good morning to the left hamstring, flex your ankle and toes, pull your heart forward. And then go ahead and bend the left knee, bring the arms up and overhead, pelvis tilts back now as we press the hips forward to find that stretch in the front of the right hip. And then on your next exhale, if it feels okay, you're gonna rotate open to the left. Again, the arms are out, kind of like a T. And then we're gonna bring the hands down. Step back to plank position. Hold plank for a moment so that your core can get really engaged. We'll modify this first time. Drop down knees, chest, and chin. And then you can untuck your toes, drop the hips, slide the forearms forward. Big toes touch, heels drop open. Pull your chest forward for Sphinx. And then we're going to do one lion breath in each direction. Remember, eyes and mouth open as wide as possible and the tongue sticks out as you exhale. So breathe in through the nose here in the center. And then do your lion breath over your right shoulder. Inhale to the center. Lion breath over the left shoulder. Inhale back to the center, and then as you exhale, downward facing dog. Take whatever initial movements you need here in your first downward facing dog. Kind of get your body into it. And then really plant through your palms, grounding down through the center of the palm of each hand, pressing the hips back and letting the heels press down. Take a big step forward with your right foot. And we'll just hold the lunge for a moment. If you can, keep that left hand planted. We're going to keep the spine lengthening and rotate right hand up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and bring that right hand down. Drop your left knee. Fully extend your right leg. We'll get into our right hamstring a little bit this morning. Flex the ankle and toes if you can. Bend the right knee. Arms are up and overhead. Pelvis tilts back and the hips push forward. Finding sensation in the front of that left hip. And then if you can, on your next exhale, just rotate to the right a little bit. Arms are out like a T. You want to keep that left hip continuing to move forward. And then we'll bring the hands down to the mat and step forward to a standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up and overhead, stretch up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Remember, you're hinging at your hips, tilting the pelvis forward, even if that requires you to bend your knees. Inhale, look up halfway. And exhale, back down. Step back with your left foot this time. Just hold your lunge for a moment. We're going to drop the left knee down and come up with our palms together in prayer. Pelvis tilts, hips move forward. So you want to find that stretch at the front of the left hip. And then if you can, we'll come into prayer twist. Left elbow outside right near thigh. Make sure that you don't hang out here with hands in the right armpit. You want to push into your palms, lift your torso up as you look over your right shoulder. Now hold this for another breath or two. Those of you who can and want to can get that armpit down on top of the right thigh and split your prayer hands, taking right hand to the ceiling. So your left forearm would be straight up against that right shin. Take one more breath, and if that doesn't work for you, don't force it. Come on out of that, and I want you to bring both hands down inside the right foot and come on to either the left forearm or perhaps both, and maybe even gaze forward. Come back up onto the hands. Step back to plank position. Take the vinyasa of your choice this morning. Make sure you feel really rooted and grounded in your downward facing dog. Pardon me. And then step your left foot forward. We're going to go ahead and drop the right knee down. Come up with the hands in prayer. Pelvis tilts back, hips shift forward. And then you rotate to your left. If you can, you're hooking that right elbow outside your left knee or thigh, pushing into the palms to lift the torso up as you look over your left shoulder. If you can and you want to, you can take the right armpit onto the left thigh, right hand to the ground, left hand to the ceiling. And then release and bring both hands down inside the left foot. See if you can come onto your right forearm, maybe both, and pull your chest forward. Come back up onto your hands. Step forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up and overhead. And as you exhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, fold all the way forward. Get your fingertips to the ground, even if you need to bend your knees, and bring your feet completely together, at least the big toes touching. From here, I want you to bend your knees on purpose. Squeeze them together and walk your hands in a tiny, tight little circle around so that they're both backed by your right heel. Your knees are still squeezed together and pointing forward. So you're feeling this as a twist and stretch on the left side of the low back. Walk the hands around to the left. So both hands are trying to get back by that left heel. Knees are still bent, squeezing together and pointing forward. Now you're getting a twist and a stretch on the right side of the low back. Bring your hands back to the center. Straighten the legs, look up and lengthen. And then back down. We're going to step back with the left foot. If you can hold a high lunge, that's where we're going next. You can always drop the left knee if you need to modify. Otherwise, arms are up and overhead, pelvis is tilting back, and the hips are dropping. If you can, palms together in front of the heart. Prayer twist to the right. Remember to lift the torso. And then from here, we're going to come all the way out into warrior two. So basically, you're spinning the left heel flat and taking the arms out to the side. Left hand on the left thigh. Take that right arm up and over. Reverse your warrior. Get that deep right side bend. Keep your right knee pressing out towards the little toe. Come back up into your warrior two. So we're going to take both hands down inside the right foot. Swivel back onto the left toes. If you can, come onto your left forearm, and we're going to take the right hand up towards the ceiling. Right hand comes back down, step it back to plank position. Flow through your vinyasa. From this downward facing dog, we take the left foot forward. And again, if you can, hold a high lunge. That's where we're going. Come on up with the arms up and overhead, pelvis tilting back, hips sinking. Palms come together in front of the heart, and we're going to twist to the left. So you're pressing into your palms, lifting your torso, looking over your left shoulder. As we come out of this, straight into warrior two. Right heel spins flat, arms are off to the side. You should be aligned. Right hand on right thigh, left arm up and over, reverse your warrior. Nice deep left side stretch. Make sure that left knee stays engaged towards the left little toe. We're going to come back up, bring both hands down inside the left foot, swivel onto the right toes. Come onto right forearm, and if you can, take your left hand towards the ceiling. Left hand comes down, step your right foot forward to a standing forward bend. Pause here and work on refining your forward bend. This isn't just a way to get to a standing position. It is a position all of its own. Pelvis is tilting forward. Torso is connecting to the thighs. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Nice. So we're going to do a really deep side bend now. If you can, I'd like you to do it with your feet completely together. We're going to take the arms up and overhead. Interlace the fingers, but extend the index fingers up. I want you to really strongly reach through your fingers and press through your left foot as you take your torso to the right. So the more you push through the left foot and reach through the fingertips, the more you're going to feel this on the left side of your spine, and then you can use your breath to enhance the stretch. Breathe in deeply. Inhale, come back up. As you exhale, lean to your left. Push through your right foot. Reach through those fingers. Feel the right side of your spine stretch. Breathe into it. Come all the way back up. Release the arms. Roll your shoulders back. And now we're going to be moving into eagle pose, Garudasana, a very twisted pose. So just kind of a reminder, the more you hug everything in towards the midline of your body, which would be elbows squeezing together, palms squeezing together, thighs squeezing together, the more stable you will feel in your balance. We're going to stand on the right foot first. I'd like you to bend your right knee and take your left thigh very tightly over your right thigh. If you're having a balance challenge today, slide those left toes down to the floor as a kickstand. Otherwise, just rest that left foot either behind the right calf or beside it. Arms are out to the side. Your right arm is on bottom. Your left arm is on top. You're going to wrap as much as you can. Shoulders pull down, elbows lift and push forward. We hug everything in towards the midline here. And unwind. Both feet on the ground, roll your shoulders back. Good. From here, we transition to the left foot. Bend your left knee. Take your right thigh really tightly over your left. Same thing applies here. If you need to slide the right toes down to the floor, go for it. Otherwise, just let that right foot rest either behind or beside your left calf. Your arms are out to the side. Your left arm will be on bottom, right arm on top. Shoulders are down the back, elbows lift and push forward. Everything hugs in towards the midline. And unwind. Both feet on the ground. Roll your shoulders back. Feet can be about sit bone distance now. We're going to do a slow twist from a standing position and then build it up a little bit. So the first thing I want you to do is just have your arms straight out to the side. Bend your knees just a little bit. So we don't want the rotation to come from the knees. The knees are going to point forward the whole time. I want you to inhale to the left, twisting from the waist. And exhale to the right. Inhale left. Exhale right. One more time. Inhale left. And exhale right. Come back up, release the arms, straighten your legs for a moment. Now we're going to be doing this more forcefully. So I want you to think of Kapalabhati breath, you know, that pumping of the abdomen. It's going to be a forceful breath like that. Also, you can do it as Bhastrika, which is more like a bellows breath. Either way, it's pretty rapid. This time we're gonna put fingertips on shoulders. Elbows are out to the side. Bend the knees, make sure they point forward. Your inhale is gonna be to the right, your exhale is to the left, and we're gonna go rapidly. So take a deep breath in. Breathe all the way out. Breathe in to the right, breathe out to the left. And come back up, release the arms, and roll your shoulders back. All right, you're back at the front of the mat with your feet together and your palms together. We're gonna inhale and reach the arms up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Remember, pelvis is tilting up. Look up and lengthen. And then exhale back down. You can either step or jump back to plank and take a vinyasa. Now, from here, what we're going to do is just take the left arm underneath us, try and grab the right thigh or calf, and look under your right armpit. Left hand back down, right hand underneath to grab left thigh or calf as you look under left armpit. Right hand back down. I want you to take your right leg up in the air, bend your knee, roll your hip bone open towards the ceiling. Now listen, we're going to be taking the right leg underneath us, but not bent. So I want you to just slowly take right leg underneath, extend your leg, flex your foot, take your right leg higher up towards left armpit perhaps. And then just take your time, allow your body to self-adjust, but you're going to lower down like you would for chaturanga. Now, maybe you can extend the arms out to the side here. Maybe you can grab your right foot with your left hand. Maybe you can turn your head to the right. One more breath here. Come back up onto your hands. Take your right leg straight up and back. Bend the knee and roll your hip bone open again. Then put your right foot down, shift into plank, and take a vinyasa. So taking left leg up into the air, bending the knee, rolling that hip bone open towards the ceiling. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. So just take your time. Left leg comes underneath you straight, foot flexes and slides up towards the right armpit. And you lower yourself down nice and slow like you would for chaturanga. Let your body adjust. Only if it's okay. Extend the arms out like a T. Maybe grab left foot with right hand. Maybe turn head to the left. From here, hands back on the mat. Take that left leg straight up and back. Bend the knee. Roll your hip bone open again. Left foot back down to the ground. Shift into plank and take a vinyasa. Now from here, we're going to take the right foot forward, spin the left heel flat, and I want you to come up into warrior one. So try and get your hips oriented forward as much as possible. Left heel is flat. Straighten your right leg. I want you to lengthen your torso forward. Keep pulling that right hip back, left hip forward. You're going to take your left hand either to your shin, your foot, or outside the foot. You can also use a block, by the way, but have it outside the right foot. Lengthen your spine, right hand at your waist, and I want you to begin to rotate and twist to your right. And if you feel like your shoulders are vertically stacked, take your right leg up, revolve triangle. Both legs straight, both arms straight, spine straight. Lots of twisting and rotation. One more breath. Come all the way back up, warrior one. Now, from this warrior one, we're just gonna do a nice yummy side bend. Put your right hand on your right thigh. You're gonna reach your left arm over to the right and bend. And then bring both hands down, step back to plank, take a vinyasa. From this downward facing dog, left foot forward, right foot flat. Come on up, warrior one. Taking a moment to get those hips squared off forward. So if you're gonna be successful in your revolved triangle, you've gotta have your hips aligned so that your hip bones are pointing forward, right? And then from here, we're gonna straighten the left leg. Lengthen out, reach, reach, reach through the spine, keep that left hip pulling back. So your right hand is gonna come onto your left shin, your left foot, or outside of the foot. You want both legs straight, spine straight, left hand at the waist, and begin to rotate. If you feel like your left shoulder is vertically stacked over your right, take that left hand to the ceiling. Come all the way back up, warrior one. And then we're gonna turn into a yummy side bend, left hand on the left thigh. Just reach that right arm over to the left, stretching out your right side. Good, both hands to the mat, and take one more vinyasa. As you get to your downward facing dog, reconnect to that sense of being fully grounded, fully supported, reaching the tailbone up and back. And then you can go ahead and walk or jump your feet forward and come into Dandasana. So nice straight spine, active legs. Just a couple of breaths here to check in. You know what to do. And then go ahead and reach the arms up and extend out over your legs. So just a reminder, even in a seated forward bend, it's all about the pelvis. Make sure your pelvis is tipping forward. If you can't get your pelvis to tip forward, bend the knees a little bit, scoot your bum back, and that'll get you there. Take a couple of breaths here. And then come on up and just come into an easy cross-legged position. So we're gonna take our time working into a side bend. I want you to take your right hand to the ground and slide it out as far as you can get it without letting your left hip lift at all. You wanna keep that left glute fully grounded. Once you're there, relax your neck so that your head hangs to the right. And then reach that left arm up and overhead, really reaching through fingertips. So if you have a lazy arm, you miss half the stretch. Super straight left arm, reach, reach, reach. You should start to feel the left side of your spine really stretching. And then if you can, bend your right elbow, but keep pushing left hip into the ground. Take a couple of deep breaths. And come on up, and we'll do the other side. Left hand to the ground, slide it out as far as you can get it without letting your right hip lift. Then you relax your neck. Keep pushing the right hip into the ground as you reach a very straight arm up and overhead. Be mindful not to bend the elbow. Reach through a super straight arm. And then if you can, bend the left elbow a little bit. Extra deep stretch on the right side of the spine. Breathe into it. And come on back up. Roll your shoulders back. Good. So now we're going to go ahead and extend the right leg. I want you to bring your left foot on top of your right thigh, as high as you comfortably can get it. Flex your left ankle, lean forward a moment. Forward bends and twists go together beautifully, by the way. And so we're going to come on up from that, and we're going to twist to the left. So take your left hand behind you. Your right hand is on that left knee, but don't pull up on it. Press down on it. Lift the chest and twist to the left. So for those of you who would like, if your shoulders are happy and healthy enough, you can reach around with that left hand and grab your left big toe. If that doesn't work for you, don't force it. And then we're going to unwind. I want you to just slide the left foot all the way across the right thigh. We're going to twist again a little differently. Right knee is now going to bend. You want it to come back beside your left glute. Left hand is behind you. Again, I want you to raise your right arm up. So you get lots of length on the right side of the spine, and then do your best. See if you can get your right elbow outside of that left knee or thigh. Elbow bends so that you don't hyperextend. Lift the chest, press against the outside of your thigh for a little bit of leverage to twist a little deeper to the left. By the way, you should feel quite compressed in your midsection. We're going to come all the way out of that, unwind both legs, extend them out. Yet again, inhaling, reaching the arms up. As you exhale, tilt your pelvis forward for that seated forward bend. You might notice it's a little easier. Like I said, twists and forward bends, they really help each other out. Take one more breath here. And then come on up. So now we're going to pick the right foot up. We're going to bring it on top of the left thigh, as high as you comfortably can. And then the right hand is behind you, left hand is on the right knee. Remember, you're not pulling up. If anything, you're pressing down and you're twisting to the right, looking over that right shoulder. Now, for those of you who can, right arm would reach around behind you and you would grab your right big toe. If you've got knee or shoulder issues and it's not happening, then don't worry about it, but do your best. If you can do the toe grab, go for it. And then rotate back around. We're going to twist again. Put your right foot all the way flat across your left thigh. Bend your left knee now, so your left foot comes back beside your right glute. We're going to bring right hand behind us. I want you to raise your left arm up in the air, stretch the left side of the spine, and then if you can, get that left elbow outside of the right knee or thigh with the elbow bent, and then press against it for a little bit of extra leverage. And remember to seek that sensation of squeezing in the midsection. And then unwind, extend your legs, give them a good wiggle. One more forward bend. Inhale, reaching the arms up, and as you exhale, lean all the way out over your legs. Try and get your pelvis to tilt forward. Maybe this forward bend is easier than the first one. And then from here, we're going to roll onto our backs, hug the knees in, and rock side to side. So to invert today, obviously pay attention to neck and shoulders. If you need to modify, pardon me, by all means. So you can do bridge pose if you need to, or stick a block under the hips. For those of you that can, we're going to do a modified shoulder stand so that we can continue to rotate the spine a little bit. So if you can, I'd like you to go ahead and hike your hips up into your hands. And then the first thing we're going to do is drop the legs open into a wide V and rotate the hips. Whichever direction feels good to you, rotate them. And then rotate them in the opposite direction. Do that one more time. Rotate. So your pelvis is rotating, right? And then one more time. So you've got twice, both directions. Bring the legs back together, and if it's okay with your neck and shoulders, the ultimate forward bend, plow pose. Make sure you have some curve at the back of the neck. Take a couple more breaths. On your next exhale, slowly roll down. Hug the knees in and rock side to side. We're going to go ahead and put the right foot on the mat. Left thigh tightly crosses right thigh. Very tight crossing of the legs. So the first thing that I want you to do is lift your right foot off the mat now that your thighs are tightly crossed. Put your hands dead center in the middle of your left thigh. Take a deep breath in. Hold your breath, flatten them back. As you exhale, squeeze your thighs together. Press against that left thigh, but don't let it move. Do that one more time. Hold the breath, flatten the back. Exhale, press. So this releases low back. Now, if you can, you're going to keep the legs crossed. Put right foot back down on the mat and drop both knees to the right. If that's too much twist for you, uncross your legs. Take your left arm out to the left and let your head turn to the left. Take a couple of breaths here. So this leg position is the same leg position that you had in Garudasana. That nice hugging in of the midline position. But remember, if it causes too much torque on your low back, you can just uncross the legs and that'll make it a little gentler. On your next inhale, you're going to bring your legs back up. If they're still crossed, keep them crossed. Pick your right foot up off the ground. 3 big, slow circles in each direction with the knees. This is really nice for the low back and the sacrum and the base of the pelvis. So you go 3 times in each direction. As you finish out, uncross your legs, hug the knees, rock if you want to. And then we're going to do the opposite. Put your left foot on the ground, right thigh tightly crosses left thigh. First thing you're going to do here is take the left foot off the ground again. One hand on top of the other, dead center in the middle of your right thigh. Take a deep breath in. Hold your breath, flatten the back. Exhale, press against your thighs while you squeeze them together, but keep the back pressing into the floor, into your lungs. Inhale. Hold the breath, flatten the back. Exhale, press. If you can, you're going to keep the thighs crossed. Put the left foot back down. Drop both knees to the left. Let your right arm open out to the right and turn your head to the right. Remember, please, to adjust if you need to by uncrossing the legs. So on your next inhale, you're going to bring your knees back up. If they're still crossed, keep them crossed. Pick your left foot up off the ground. We're going to draw those 3 big, slow circles in each direction with the knees. As you finish that out, you can uncross your legs, hug them in, side to side rock. And then keep your right knee hugged in and extend your left leg all the way out onto the ground. Just hold that for a moment. Then I'd like you to grab behind your right knee, the back of the thigh. Keep your right knee and right thigh hugged against your chest. So this is a very different way of doing things. Only as much as you can without allowing your thigh to come away from your chest. You start to extend the right leg. This is like a reclined forward bend. So if your thigh comes away from your chest, it's no longer a forward bend, right? So you keep your right foot flexed. You're keeping your right thigh hugged to your chest. You're trying to extend the leg. And then you hug your right knee in, bring the left knee up to meet it. And then extend your right leg all the way out into the ground. Just hug your left knee for a couple of breaths. Grab behind your left thigh, right behind the knee. Hug that left thigh into your chest. Very important to keep it there. So you're using your arm strength to keep your left thigh against your chest, and you begin to straighten the left leg without letting the left thigh come away from your chest. So your leg may not go straight. That's okay. We want it to be a true forward bend with the torso touching the thighs, or in this case, the thighs touching the torso. You keep your left thigh hugged into your chest. You keep trying to straighten that leg. And then hug your left knee in, bring your right knee up to meet it. Feel free to rock. And then grab the outside edges of your feet. Take a little bit of happy baby time. Couple more breaths here. When you feel ready, feet to the mat with the knees dropping away from each other and the soles of the feet touching. We just take a moment here to lengthen the low back one more time. Inhale, flatten your back, press your back into the mat, hold it while you breathe. And then on your next exhale, release. Let the curve come back into your spine. One more time, inhale, flatten and hold. On your next natural exhale, release. Begin to extend your legs. Take a few breaths to find the best Shavasana position for today. So maybe legs are wider, maybe they're closer together. Either way, spine is lengthened, arms are below the heart, the neck feels long, shoulders are relaxed, jaw is relaxed, forehead is relaxed, eyelids are relaxed, and we take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth, and we allow the body to dissolve. And so truly, we're going to keep with that idea and image and sensation of dissolving this morning. So the tension has dissolved from your muscles, but this idea that we have of being separate from each other, separate from creation, separate from our creator, this idea of separateness, we're going to allow that to dissolve as well. And we're going to start by doing that with the body. I want you to feel the parts of your body that are not in contact with the floor, or the mat. Feel the parts of your body that are facing upward. And anywhere that there is not a sensation of clothing or anything else that feels restrictive or solid, I want you to just notice how it's really almost impossible to feel exactly where you stop and the rest of the world begins. There is no sensation of a hard edge unless you try to touch your face or something like that to create it. So maybe starting in the face. Maybe feeling that your forehead really is a little more diffuse than you thought. Perhaps there is no hard edge that you can dissolve, that whatever you think of as your edge can simply dissipate. No separation between your body and the rest of the world. We know that we have no separation between our breath and the atmosphere. Our breath comes from the atmosphere. And all of us are breathing from that same atmosphere. So no separation between us and each other and the air that we breathe. No separation. From the perspective of our heart, or even prana, life force energy, that animating life force, it's the same animating life force that runs through every single one of us. And our heart space, that is love, is really just a droplet of a much bigger love, right? We are all from the same energy. We are all from the same love. And it's a big love. So we're connected to each other and we're connected to that bigger love. No separation. So just taking a few more breaths to really feel, not only at a visceral cellular level, that we're really all connected, that we're actually all one, this sense of union, but at a mental, emotional, energetic, and particularly spiritual level, that we really are all part of the one. Yoga means union. Experience true yoga now. Union with everything, including your creator. We suffer because we think we're separate. We're not separate. We have no need to suffer. We simply need to remember that we're not alone. There really is only one of us. Begin to slowly feel back into your body. Begin to move the fingers and toes a little bit. When you're ready, take that deep breath in, spread the fingers and toes. As you exhale, relax the fingers and toes. Deeper breath in, stretch, 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 and exhale, relax. Bend your knees, and maybe that just means the feet are on the floor. Maybe it means you're hugging your knees. Either one's fine. Roll to your right side if you're comfortable doing that. And then slowly press yourself up into sitting. So as you come to your nice seated position, we're just going to be doing a 4-part breath today, which means we're doing all 4 parts of the breath. That's an inhale, a short holding in of the breath, an exhale, and a short holding out of the breath. If any part of the breath hold causes you tension or anxiety, please skip it. You should never, ever feel stressed out or tense when you're doing pranayama. Now, in keeping with our idea of being all one, if it feels comfortable to you, I'm going to ask you to do the Buddhist heart mudra. It's a beautiful connecting mudra. And what that looks like is the index finger of each hand touches the base of the thumb, so it's like a really small okay. And then your thumb tip will touch the other 3 fingers. So it's almost like you've got like this little shell, right? Index finger touches the base of the thumb, and then the other 3 fingertips touch the tip of the thumb. You're just going to let those beautiful little heart mudras rest on the knees or thighs, and we're going to keep it simple today. We're going to inhale for a 6 count, hold the breath for a 3 count, exhale for a 6 count, and hold the breath out for a 3 count. So it's a 2-1-2-1 ratio breath. If you need to change that because that's uncomfortable, you might go shorter, like a 4-2-4-2, or if you're more accomplished, you can lengthen it and maybe go 10-5-10-5, but I will talk us through a 6-3-6-3 breath. Your Ujjayi breath is very helpful here. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale completely. This is all through the nose, by the way. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. And then just let your breathing return to normal. Just pause here, eyes closed. Feel into your body. Notice your soft, gentle breath. Check out thought processes, emotions, energy, and connection. Bring back to mind that knowledge that you really are connected to everyone and everything, and that which created everyone and everything. That you're not alone, that we're all in it together, that there really is only one us. Bring your palms together in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Just take a moment in gratitude that we're not alone. Take one more huge breath in through the nose. Big sigh through the mouth. When we bring our palms together to our foreheads, it reminds us to stay present. When we bring our palms together in front of our mouths, it reminds us to speak our truth. When we bring our palms together in front of our hearts, it reminds us to keep our heart open. So always practice kindness, compassion, and love,
and to remember to stay connected. Thank you for joining me this morning. I appreciate you immensely. Namaste.